India is considering the possibility of leasing the American B-1B Lancer strategic bomber as part of its evolving defense strategy, but the necessity and practicality of such a move remain subjects of intense debate among security experts, defense planners, and strategic analysts. The larger question revolves around whether India genuinely needs a strategic bomber in its arsenal, given its historical defense priorities, regional requirements, and cost-benefit considerations. India's interest in the B-1B Lancer lease has been making headlines lately. Recent reports indicate that the United States has offered India an option to lease the B-1B Lancer, a heavy strategic bomber renowned for its large payload capacity and intercontinental range. This development emerged in the wake of joint air drills and growing Indo-US defense cooperation. The leasing proposal reportedly involves a limited number of aircraft, 3 to 4 units on a decade-long lease, providing India with an opportunity to evaluate their operational utility without making a permanent procurement commitment. The underlying rationale is to enhance interoperability, long-range strike capabilities, and, well, strategic coordination, especially in scenarios requiring operations over vast distances, such as potential standoffs with China. However, it is important to note that the U.S. typically prefers an interim transfer model, wherein older platforms are supplied for trials and training before any formal lease or acquisition. This serves both as a capability upgrade and a policy signal for future collaboration. The B-1B's anticipated deployment in India would initially be for major exercises and demonstrations, gauging its impact before a larger strategic commitment is made. Do strategic bombers really fit India's defense needs? India's military doctrine has traditionally focused on regional defense and deterrence rather than long-range global power projection. Unlike the United States, Russia, or China, whose strategic bombers play pivotal roles in nuclear deterrence and force projection across continents, India's defense priorities are shaped by immediate regional threats, primarily Pakistan and China. Most targets within Pakistan can be reached by existing fighter jets, while China's territorial depth presents a genuine challenge that bombers could theoretically address. A strategic bomber can carry heavier payloads over longer distances, enabling deep strikes against distant, well-defended targets. This capability can serve as a deterrent, complicate adversaries' military planning, and enhance retaliatory options in a conflict. With China developing its own long-range bombers and rapidly modernizing its air power, Indian strategists argue that possessing similar assets could restore strategic balance in the region. The arguments against acquisition. Despite the allure of strategic bombers, critical questions remain about their cost, doctrine, and operational relevance. Strategic bombers are expensive to acquire, require specialized infrastructure and training, and impose significant maintenance and operational costs. For a nation like India, where resource allocation is contested amid competing defense priorities, fighter jets, AWACS, aerial tankers, and indigenous projects, such an investment must be carefully justified. Moreover, India's deterrence requirements are largely met through its missile forces and existing fighter fleets, especially with the induction of modern platforms like Rafale and the advancement of indigenous fighter programs. India's no-first-use nuclear policy and absence of overseas military bases further reduce the urgency for bombers designed for intercontinental missions. For many analysts, strategic bombers represent a solution looking for a problem, especially in the absence of an immediate doctrinal need. Some experts suggest that with the advent of Chinese aircraft carrier groups and expanding regional threats, India's need for strategic capabilities will grow in the next decade. The bomber debate is thus a window into the future, a question not of immediate need, but of whether India wishes to signal its intent to become a true aerospace power with global reach. Thank you for watching, and if you found the video insightful, hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.